still here, so I would like to deal with the Brooklands Lagoon petition, and then we'll break for morning tea. So could we move to the Brooklands? Oh, where is it? I've got it. Item 11. Sorry. No, it's not the next one. Why is it the next one?
It's item 11, page 1.
Oh, it's because it's part A. Yeah. So, so item 11. Yeah, I'm just scrolling. Right, I've got it in front of me now. So, this is not a usual process whereby a petition that's been presented to the community board is presented to the council prior to the community board having received the report that it's requests. But I think that councillors generally wanted to show support for the process, and it might even be worth noting that the board has requested advice on this matter, and once received, requests that the board reports to the council. We don't need to note it, but I think we'll just say that both the coastal adaptation framework is appropriate to be included in that advice, as is advice from ECAN. Because, I mean, I must admit that when I was the MP for the area and the earthquakes happened, I didn't know who was responsible for which stop banks. So it was only after the earthquakes that I found out that ECAN was responsible for the Waimakariri stop banks, and that Christchurch City Council was responsible for the Lower Styx River. And the reason was that the urban waterways were transferred in terms of responsibility to the Christchurch City Council rather than to the newly formed regional councils in 1989 during the last local government reform process, as a result of the Christchurch Drainage Board being subsumed into the amalgamated Christchurch City Council. So it's got a whole history to it, but it's an estuarine, riverine environment, which makes it pretty unique. So I think it's well worth supporting the community board. Pauline.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. Look, I'm just wondering if we need to be a good idea to strengthen that resolution and turn it, perhaps request a report, because I think, as you've just outlined, it's so massive, and I don't like to put extra work onto staff, but we've also got the Brooklands Lagoon management plan out there, and all the other things you've outlined. And then I think it was the Little River had a flooding hui. That's up to the board, but I'd say that once that report is received, it would be quite good to have a hui out there and get everyone involved in the information.
I think that's important, but I don't think cutting out the community board is the way to do that. I honestly think that
so what would advice look like?
I'm not writing the advice.
No, but is it, I mean, we talk about advice memos, reports.
We have asked the community board to report to us. This is what this does. It requests that the board reports to the council. So let them receive the advice, and then let them reflect on that advice and then report to the council.
Okay, if you're happy with that, that's all right.
Okay. So would you like to move this?
I'd be happy to move that.
Would you like to second it?
And did you want to put a noting report thing about the coastal adaptation work? Or?
That'll come through.
It'll come through in the advice. Yeah. Yes?
So I'm clear, and I understand that ECAN look after the Waimak River Bank ones. This isn't part of the Waimak, is it? So that means it's ours? The ones on the...
Urban waterways are ours. The regional rivers are theirs. So
estuary is sort of in the middle.
When we heard the petition, we heard reference to continuing the primary and the secondary stop banks. We don't do the primary and secondary stop banks on the Waimakariri River, but I don't know what because that's essentially where the Styx joins the the
Yeah, there must be a line of where we stop and they start, and I'm not
well,
quite sure.
there
where.
is, but there's also an entire settlement tucked in Stewart's Gully and Kaingas that would sit between the primary and secondary banks. So I think that we've got to leave it to the experts to provide some advice, that the community board gets the advice and then formulates a report to the council. And that way it triggers the series of processes that will have to happen in order to resolve this. This was an area that was largely red zoned by the government, and it is an area that has got a number of not only present day challenges, but it has a number of future challenges, which is why the coastal adaptation framework is so important.
Yeah, because I understand that Seafield Park that's there is actually a scenic reserve, which makes it even harder
Right.
to do things on.
Yeah, so there'll be a number of different categories of land that will have to be taken into account as well.
Just to follow up for Councillor Major and members, I will be expecting staff to be having dialogue with ECAN, so it won't be just saying this matter is ECAN's responsibility.
Yeah.
I will be expecting a conversation between both authorities to be able to come to some advice and conclusions together.
And I think the councillors were able to attend the Christchurch City Council ECAN governance to governance group meeting were able to raise it and table it with them as well. So that they are aware of it and they will be expecting this to happen. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any debate? I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Now, I'll stop for morning tea. It is 11:05. I would like to see you back here at 11:15, and that's a 10-minute break. But I'm going to be flexible and let you be back by 11:20. But I'm going to expect you all to be working very hard when you get back. I adjourn the meeting.